Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm Sheena and I'm joined today by my beautiful wife, Tamara.
Hey Sheena.
So T, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about being a lesbian during the holidays.
Right, and this is actually quite a particularly stressful thing for a lot of lesbians because of ostracization from family. Is ostracization a word?
Possibly. It should be if it isn't.
Sounds like it should be a word, right? Anyway, being ostracized from one's family, being, disowned, that sort of thing, unfortunately happens to a larger percentage of queer people than non-queer people. So it can be a little bit daunting and unhappy to be different during the holidays.
Even if you aren't disowned, being the resident gay person in a family can be a stressful thing in itself.
Okay, so we've got a couple of things we want to talk about just in terms of how to make it a little bit less stressful for yourself, how to kind of cope with the holidays, and how to enjoy yourself, really.
Because it's the holidays, and whatever holiday it is that you're celebrating, you should be enjoying it.
I agree with that. It's about friends and family, sure, but it's also about downtime for yourself.
It's true. So let's get on with the holidays.
Did you say holidays?
I did.
Okay, so the first thing I've got is to find an online community. An example of this is the Lesbian Review Book Club. We very specifically make sure that we talk positive stuff. We have a very active online presence and we talk about books we love. It's very supportive. It's great fun. You don't have to do it if you're not a big reader, but find a positive online community.
So find something that you're interested in and make sure that it's a positive one. Don't join a group where people are saying they distance from their family and everyone's talking about the negative side of it. There is a space for that, but I don't think now.
It's one of those scenarios where if you surround yourself by positive people, you will feel more positive and excited about things.
Yes, and remember, the holidays can be one of the most dangerous time for people who are feeling distant. So look out for the positive.
And find a community so that you're not alone.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing I have is to read or do activities that you find relaxing and not stressful. Holidays are difficult for me often because I feel like I'm torn into 20,000 different pieces because everybody wants to do something or has some sort of activity going. It's really busy and I often find that excruciating because I'm quite the introvert. So going and doing stuff requires a lot of energy from me. So finding downtime to do things that I find relaxing, like swimming because we're in the southern hemisphere, so it's hot here.
So freaking hot right now. I think we're in that desert sort of space right now. It's so freaking hot.
Right. So doing things that I find relaxing, like swimming, reading, just taking time for myself is really important for me during this time. So find something that you enjoy doing and make time for it.
And I think an important point with this one is that the holidays are stressful for a lot of people, not just gay people or queer people. And a lot of the times it's because as women, we take on a lot of the responsibilities during the holidays, whether that's present shopping, making meals, decorating a house, making sure the kids are happy. So remember to go ahead and make sure that you're sharing the load.
Absolutely. If you have a significant other, don't let yourself or the other take on everything. Split the load, I think, is a great one.
And if you do have friends and you don't have a significant other, see if there's a way you can do things in friend groups so that you spread the load between each other. That might make it easier.
Absolutely brilliant point. Christmas dinner, for example, you don't have to make everything somebody can bring, every person can bring something. Exactly. And that actually works out really nicely often.
It also makes sure that everyone's got something that they can enjoy because everyone has bought a dish.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite ways of doing it. Another thing that I find very important during this time of year is the spirit of giving is great and it should absolutely be a thing, but find a way to treat yourself. So I don't necessarily mean buy yourself anything expensive or whatever it is. Find a way to treat yourself to something that you've been wanting to do or to try, or say, for example, you've wanted to try this new restaurant down the road that serves a particular type of dish that you've never had before. Make time to do it now. Treating yourself, having those downtime moments and stuff will make the holidays less stressful for you.
It's all about being merry and happy, so find ways to be happy.
Even if you're not a person named Mary.
You should always feel someone called Mary.
Oh my gosh. You're listening to the Lesbian Talk Show. TheLesbianTalkShow.com, your hub of podcast information. You've got a couple of things you want to talk about as well.
Okay, so for me, one of the things is awkwardness at events. So inevitably, at the holiday time, there'll be tons of events. There's Christmas parties, there's office parties, there's family parties, there's New Year's parties, whatever it is. There's all these gatherings, and most of the time, if it's not with a friend group, you're part of a family and you're the only gay couple there. And I feel that a lot of times this, especially in the beginning, it can be very awkward. So I think it's trying to deal with the awkwardness of that.
Do you have tips on how to do this? This magic thing?
Just ignore everyone.
I think a lot of the time people take their cues from you. So if you're uncomfortable, they'll almost feel uncomfortable too. I think it's an unconscious thing. I think you need to go in there, be confident, be okay with yourself, and often people will take their cues from you and follow.
And don't let people put you into different roles. So, for example, if you're a lesbian couple and people have this belief that one of you should be male and one should be female or like male things, don't get roped into that. Don't get stuck in the corner talking about fishing.
That's so much easier said than done.
It really, really is. But, I think it's important to, I don't know about setting boundaries, but, being clear that, I am not a guy, I'm a girl, and I'm not into fishing. If you're into fishing, sure, but...
Are you going to come rescue me next time your dad corners me and tries to talk about fishing?
So many pictures of fish.
So many. Shame he's so sweet, though.
To be fair, he shows me as well.
Oh, that is true. I think he just shows everyone. I think he even posts them on Facebook.
Yeah, like most people share pictures of their grandchildren. Him, it's the fish.
I love your dad. He's fab.
Another one about buying gifts. Traditionally, queer people make a lot less than other people, especially women. And the holiday times can be stressful because of the money aspect. It's expensive. So there's all your monthly, regular expenses, but all of a sudden you need to come up with the cash to buy tons of different presents. I think something that's important is to make a list of the people that you want to buy gifts for, and also to make a budget for it and then stick to that budget. Remember, it's the thought that counts. You don't have to be extravagant.
Unfortunately, there are people who equate the amount you spend on a gift with the value of the gift, and that shouldn't be the case. And another way to deal with this scenario is to do a kind of a Secret Santa type deal where you pick names out of a hat and everybody buys just one gift for a grown-up, if you like. I believe kids should get gifts. I don't think grown-ups all necessarily need to get hundreds of gifts, though.
No, you really don't. And I think it's very important that during the holiday season, everyone feels comfortable. And I know for a lot of people, money is a huge issue.
I completely agree. With all the money you spend on food, on outings, on gifts, you can go broke. And you often go into debt, and that's not a great way to start the next year.
No, it really isn't. You shouldn't be spending the first 6 months of the new year trying to get back on a sound financial standing.
Okay, but to end on a happier note, this time is about you celebrating people you love in your life, people who matter to you, and it's about celebrating yourself as well. So it doesn't really matter what holiday you celebrate in particular. It is and should be a happy time. You have control over that. You can choose whether or not to go to somebody's house. You can choose what to do on Christmas or whatever it is you celebrate. There's so many different
holidays. We just happen to celebrate Christmas, so...
Right. So choose.
Choose happiness.
Yeah, choose happiness. Absolutely. You've been listening to Let's Talk About It. I'm Sheena.
And I'm Tamara. And we wish you a very, very happy holiday season.
We do. Bye.
Bye.